Blue Book 20 Years After, Audiobook Summary. 20 Years After is the powerful sequel to The Three Musketeers, set 2 decades after the glorious adventures of D'Artagnan, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. France has changed dramatically, and so have the former heroes. The novel blends political intrigue, civil war, betrayal, friendship, and personal tragedy, unfolding during a turbulent historical period marked by the Fronde, a rebellion against royal authority, and the execution of King Charles I of England. The story begins with D'Artagnan, now in his 40s, serving unhappily as a lieutenant in the King's Musketeers. His once promising career has stagnated, and he feels the weight of years of unrecognized service. When Cardinal Mazarin, successor to Richelieu, learns of D'Artagnan's abilities, he summons him for a secret mission, to locate the former Musketeers and convince them to serve the Queen during the political crisis threatening France. D'Artagnan's first encounter is with Porthos, who has prospered and become wealthy. Yet Porthos longs for noble status, dreaming of a title to match his wealth. Mazarin's promises of advancement persuade him to rejoin his old comrade. Next, D'Artagnan visits Aramis, who has become deeply religious and secretly aspires to high church office. Although trying to abandon his worldly identity, he is still drawn to adventure. Aramis agrees to join, motivated by secret ambitions and political connections. The greatest surprise comes when D'Artagnan reunites with Athos, now a noble landowner living under the name Count de la Fère. Athos has matured into a wise, dignified man, devoted to raising his adopted son Raoul de Bragelonne, the son of the late Milady's brother. Though reluctant to re-enter political turmoil, Athos eventually rejoins his friends out of loyalty. The political landscape is dangerously unstable. France is divided between Mazarin, who controls the young King Louis XIV and Queen Anne of Austria, and the rebellious nobles and Parisian citizens who oppose oppressive taxes and centralization of power. This conflict erupts into the Fronde, a civil war that threatens to tear France apart. The Musketeers, once united, now find themselves on opposite sides of the conflict. D'Artagnan and Porthos support Mazarin and the monarchy, motivated by loyalty and the promise of rewards, while Athos and Aramis sympathize with the rebels, believing Mazarin tyrannical and unworthy of power. This ideological divide tests their friendship deeply. Amid this turmoil, the Queen and Mazarin are forced to flee Paris with the child king. D'Artagnan and Porthos accompany them, facing mobs, ambushes, and starvation. Athos and Aramis remain with the Frondeurs, but even their opposition is marked by honor and restraint. The 4 men, though on different sides politically, never cease to respect each other, often softening blows and preventing bloodshed. One of the most emotional storylines takes the heroes to England, where Athos and Aramis accompany a secret mission to support King Charles I during the English Civil War. Athos becomes particularly devoted to the doomed king, seeing in him a noble man unjustly condemned. D'Artagnan and Porthos, following Mazarin's orders, also travel to London, ironically on a mission that will benefit the parliamentary forces opposing Charles. As the tension builds, personal and political loyalties collide. Athos and Aramis attempt desperately to save Charles I from execution, but their efforts fail. The Musketeers arrive moments too late, witnessing the tragic beheading of the king, one of the most powerful scenes in the novel. Athos is heartbroken, and their failure haunts him deeply as they return to France. Back in Paris, the Fronde intensifies. Aramis becomes deeply involved in high-level conspiracies, using charm and ecclesiastical influence to manipulate events. Athos struggles to maintain integrity within a movement that becomes increasingly corrupt. Meanwhile, D'Artagnan and Porthos carry out Mazarin's dangerous missions, earning glory but also confronting the moral ambiguities of serving a cunning and self-interested minister. The tension between the 4 friends reaches a breaking point during clashes between Mazarin's forces and the Frondeurs. Yet even when swords are drawn, they refuse to harm one another. Their friendship, forged through loyalty and shared danger, proves stronger than politics. At a crucial moment, Mazarin is forced into exile, and the Musketeers briefly find themselves free from political obligations. But France still needs stability, and they soon reunite to restore order. Their efforts eventually lead to Mazarine's return, though none of them trusts or admires him. D'Artagnan, with his characteristic cleverness, uses Mazarine's ambitions to negotiate promotions, titles, and wealth for himself and his friends. In a dramatic and decisive mission, the four men capture Mazarine's powerful enemies and eliminate threats to the crown. Their heroism forces the cunning minister to finally acknowledge their worth. Porthos receives the noble title he always dreamed of. Aramis gains church advancement. Athos, ever noble and disinterested, accepts little but preserves his dignity. D'Artagnan, after so many years of service, is at last promoted to captain of the Musketeers, a position that marks the crowning achievement of his career. The novel concludes with a bittersweet tone. The four friends have survived political storms, civil war, and failed missions. Their bond remains unbroken, but life has changed. They are older, wiser, and more aware of the cost of loyalty in a corrupt world. France moves toward stability, but the seeds of future turmoil are present. Still, the Musketeers, now great men in their own right, remain forever united by memories of shared battles and the timeless motto: Tout pour un pour tout. All for one, and one for all. 20 Years After is not only a thrilling historical adventure but also a profound reflection on aging, loyalty, politics, and the passing of an era. Dumas blends real historical events with emotional drama and unforgettable characters, creating a rich continuation to one of the greatest sagas in world literature. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. This is for all of you.